Burning Eyes Entertainment presents The H-Guys in Celestial Crossing, with special guest, Nat 20.
A week passes and the two of us fall into an uneasy routine of her constantly beating up Yamaguchi. Eventually he dies. We go to school together, eat together, and in the mornings before the sun is up, Yura tosses me out of bed for training. I usually have to try and learn to fly. I usually don't. I've had to mend my bones, though. It's getting almost frighteningly comfortable. I have to remind myself that things can't stay this way forever. For one, casting such extensive spells in school every day is obviously beginning to strain her magic. She spends longer and longer amounts of time meditating to keep her mana levels high. I can't help wondering that she's reached the limits of what a max-level warlock can do in the real world. She doesn't complain, ever. Near does many things, but not a whiner. She'll say you suck, but she won't whine about it, I guess.
Near does many things. A bitch.
A bitch.
Violent sociopath.
A bitch.
A bitch.
And also a bitch.
But not a whiner.
Instead, she gets frustrated more often when she runs into things she's unfamiliar with. I barely managed to save my father's expensive espresso machine from her wrath when she tries to make herself tea with it and spits out the bitter black beverage instead. All of the tantrums I translate to her simply wanting to get back home, and I can't entirely blame her. I'd love to send her back into the game, but the truth I'm confronted with is that I don't have the murkiest idea how to do it. I don't even know where to start looking for an answer. The looming failure makes me feel so guilty that I find myself keeping a steady supply of yakisoba bread on hand. That and focusing all of my energy into our training is basically all I'm able to do to keep Neareth from going on a destructive rampage. The training itself isn't fun per se, but it is satisfying me in a weird way. It's like jerking off. A little. I'm tired at the end and feel unsatisfied with my life. At this stage, It mostly consists of Neareth picking fights with muscular strangers on the street and goading them into fights with me. Kind of works in the sense that I'm a lot more comfortable getting pissed off at her now. She even lets me argue with her sometimes without threatening to lop my head off.
Good. Now come at me like you actually fucking mean it.
I rush forward, taking advantage of the space we've cleared in the center of the living room and aim a jab at her face. I get about a hand's length away before she spins to the side, grabbing my wrist and squeezing hard. My eyes water as pain shoots up my arm as I lose all feeling in my wrist. With a harsh chuckle, she twists the limb at an angle and takes a short step back. My arm is now 45 degrees in the wrong direction. Before I can wrap my mind further around the mechanics of mechanical engineering, she has me flat on the floor.
How does it feel getting thrown? What is this even? 20th time today?
She gives a jeering scoff.
Can you call yourself a man? You don't even have the balls to talk to that little girl you like next door.
I lunge to my feet, infuriated but with barely an effort.
I guess I shouldn't blame you, considering you literally don't have balls, eunuch.
You're really pushing that. Neareth uses my pushing eunuch for SummerSlam. Neareth uses my...
Super SummerSlam?
I wonder if there's ever going to be a fucking wrestling angle where the angle is that the characters are here.
Probably.
I don't know, Vince is a crazy man. Neareth uses my forward momentum to sweep my legs. I go down on my front this time, and the elf wastes no time wrestling me into a headlock.
It's even more pathetic considering how much she wants you.
I stop struggling immediately.
D.
Perhaps worry that she might have accidentally killed me. Neareth jumps off, looking at me quizzically. How do you know? You've never even talked to her. She rolls her eyes before pointing at her own ears.
Elf, idiot.
That doesn't answer the question.
My natural senses are enhanced enough that I pick up the pheromones of anyone around.
I can pick up her pheromones with my ears.
Bullshit.
That's not how ears work.
Or pheromones.
She doesn't even have nostrils.
She wrinkles her nose a bit.
And you two put out enough that I gag a little every time you're even in the same room.
Which hasn't been much since you scared her. I sit down on the arm of the couch trying to digest this new information. It's no surprise to hear what my body does around Mika, but her... I don't think I believe you. Neareth snorts, affronted.
I don't care if you do or not. I can detect pheromones, and that's how I know you secretly liked it the whole time I ran around this apartment with no pants on.
That and your raging boner. My face goes scarlet with humiliation. I'm only human, goddammit!
Only human.
I open my mouth to say something in my own defense, but a quick knock on the front door interrupts me. Hello, it's the boner police.
I'm getting some water. I'm actually gonna get water.
Neareth flounces away toward the kitchen as I unlock and open the door.
Yeah, I figured.
I gulp, suddenly shy and flustered to see that it's none other than Mika-chan. She smiles warmly, her boner police insignia on her shoulder, holding a tray of what appears to be all my favorite foods. It's impossible to open my mouth. Speaking is unfathomable. What could I possibly say to her now that I know? Something in the air between us shifts, and I can't help thinking that she notices it too. Her smile turns
I
almost...
can feel it crawling in the air tonight between us.
She turns almost bashful, and she drops her gaze self-consciously to the tray in her hands.
It occurred to me earlier while I was cooking that I haven't seen you in a few days. I got worried that you might not be eating well, so I brought you this, hoping I might you.
No, eating nothing but yakisoba.
To eat, of course, the food.
Not the ass. Her cheeks, which ones you can decide. Okay. Her cheeks get visibly rosier, and I can't help finding this role reversal completely adorable.
Right, so this is ready for round 2 yet?
Oh, God.
Of fucking?
Neareth comes
I've been
strolling
fucking him right here in the
around the
living room.
kitchen corner, sipping a glass of water casually. She pauses, taking in the scene. Hi, I'm a prostitute who cosplays as an elf. Taking in the scene before her with widened eyes for a second before glancing my way. For my part, I watch Mika with a rising sense of panic as she slowly mouths the words, round 2. My gut clenches. I can see her forming the wrong idea about her relationship with Neerith as she takes in how sweaty and disheveled we both are. Shit, this looks bad. There's a moment where I am almost sure Mika might cry, and I open my mouth to loudly deny everything, when she surprises us all by giggling instead. She's still balancing her tray, she playfully nudges me with her elbow the way she always does. I realize suddenly that I'm starting to hate when she does that. The action screams of artificially created distance, like she's keeping me from getting too close, like she's trying too hard to convince both of us that we're friends and nothing more.
Finally got a girlfriend, huh? Congratulations, I thought it was never going to happen.
Finally got a tall, muscular girlfriend with oddly colored skin and pointy ears, huh?
Also, is that my clothing?
Don't worry about that, babe. As she and Neerith formally introduce themselves to each other, I try to calm myself enough to decide what to do. Sure that there's nothing between you and Neerith, or try to make her jealous. I think that's where the story is pushing us, but I don't know, man.
Try to make her jealous.
Fuck this story. I can't fully shrug off the irritation from earlier, and my smile comes across a little forced. Tired of her games, I reach out as if to put an arm around Neerith's waist. Neerith is just a friend, a very close friend. We have benefit packages.
And then she just
Before I can touch her, however, Neerith halts me with a hard glare. She then very decisively slaps the back of my head.
Liar. As if I'd ever let you have a shot with me.
Then, with no more friendliness than I ever knew she was with more friendliness than I knew she was ever capable of, the warlock grins at Mika and introduces herself properly.
Useless over here is letting me stay for a few days until I figure out my living situation.
Being a prostitute is hard work.
Yes.
So not a bad guy when he's not trying to be macho and show off.
The two laugh, and I feel my face burn with embarrassment. The situation couldn't possibly get any worse, could it? And yet, with the way the story goes, I don't know if that was the wrong option.
Well, I suppose we can forgive him. He's just a dumb kid after all.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
Feeling my chances with Mika fly out the window, I'm tremendously relieved when she turns to go. Shutting the front door on herself, she throws her parting words over my head to Neerith, as if I'm not even standing there.
And that's a cute shirt, by the way. I have one just like it hiding in my closet somewhere.
She leaves. The instant her footsteps retreat, Neerith punches me in the shoulder hard. Ow! What the hell?
Being manly isn't the same as being an ass, useless.
You could have fooled me, woman!
Yeah.
With that, she gives a haughty sniff and stomps off towards the kitchen, likely to partake in Mika's home cooking. With the feeling that I've been kicked repeatedly while down, which I really feel bad for this protagonist.
Yep.
I spend the rest of the day in moody silence. I log into Celestial Crossing that night on a whim. I haven't played since your survival for obvious reasons, so I'm not sure what to expect as the logo flashes reading. Let me guess, she's not in your character select screen.
Yeah.
Nearest character doesn't appear on the login screen. I
Yeah.
note with only mild surprise. With no trace of her left in the game, the question of how to get her back to her world seems even more daunting than before. Then there's also the depressing fact that assuming she's stuck out here, I'll have to spend months building a new character from scratch.
That's the real issue here, is that you'll have to make a new character in your fucking video game.
But Mists of Pandaria is coming out.
God. Didn't they play that at, Video Games Live?
Maybe.
Mr. Pandaria? I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I lament briefly over all the gear I spent so many months raiding for. I wonder if the developers would credit me all the gold in her inventory if I tell them the character somehow magically got out of their game. I snort at my own dry humor.
If you want to turn a profit on this dude, it would be incredibly easy. You have an elf who can fucking use magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inspiration strikes me suddenly. Quickly, I dig out the badge I got for the upcoming convention and stare at it. I'd have to get Neerith one as well, but that shouldn't be too hard. One
Really?
day
Have
past
you
for
ever been to a fucking,
BlizzCon?
convention?
BlizzCon, no less.
Yeah.
And one day past for the day of the Celestial Crossing panel should be enough. Remember how excited I was to hear that the developers of the game itself would be there. Now my pulse is pounding with the knowledge that we might finally have a shot of getting some answers by sacrificing her to the dark gods that are game devs.
Yeah.
I mean, we know a game dev, and he's basically a wizard.
You know, at least,
Yeah.
like, 2.
After all, who could know? No, they're the same person secretly.
That's fair.
After all, who could know better about the lore of the game than the developer themselves? Fans who actually care about the integrity of their characters.
Yeah.
I surge out of my seat and rush into the living room where Neerith is busy putting the finishing touches on her armor. Great news! I'm going to go see the developers of your game. They should have some answers on how to get you home.
Developers?
Yeah, think of them as the high authority on magic from your world. If anyone should know anything, it's them. I'm liking the sound of this plan more and more as I delude myself into thinking it'll work. After weeks of nothing, feels like I'm finally doing something to help our situation. Neareth, on the other hand, looks less than enthused.
If you say so, I guess. Better than nothing.
What do you want from me?
What do you want me?
I realize that I've neglected to tell her the best part. Did I mention that you can wear your armor? The elf's ears twitch and her face breaks into a broad grin. Even though she looks really concerned, she almost looks like her in-game self again.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Nice.
Getting Neareth's badge in time for the convention is a hassle and a half, but we managed it somehow.
You're gonna gloss over it.